So in a bid to support, and encourage what Burkina Faso's president Ibrahim Traore is doing, the world fastest runner, that is Usain Bolt, who is from Jamaica, sent him a message, and this message is going to, amaze you. When I read this message, I was moved. So you are going to listen to the message. I'll play it for you. You listen to the message, and you are going to get the reply of Burkina Faso's president. So he replied to the message. Now, watch the message before I say what I want to say. Just watch the message and listen to it.
In the letter, Bolt praised Captain Ibrahim Traore for military might or political speeches, but for his courage, humility, and the way he was standing for the forgotten people of Africa. "You remind me," he wrote, "that true leadership is not about titles or medals, but about running the race for others." Usain Bolt, a man who ran alone but inspired millions, saw something in Traore, a man who never ran on tracks but was sprinting against global pressure to protect his people. He continued, "As a Jamaican, I understand what it means to rise from a small island and face giants. And as a black man, I understand the weight of expectations placed on our shoulders. But what you're doing in Burkina Faso is beyond resistance, it is inspiration." The internet exploded. People shared the letter in dozens of languages. African youth called it a moment of unity. Some said it was the biggest crossover between sports and politics since Muhammad Ali. But the most powerful moment wasn't the letter itself. It was how Ibrahim Traore responded. 3 days later, in a nationally broadcast speech, Captain Traore didn't begin with politics or policy or foreign threats. He began with Usain Bolt. He held up the letter, worn, slightly folded. He smiled, a rare moment for a leader known for his intensity. And then he said, "To be acknowledged by someone who has inspired so many across the world, not just for his speed, but for his dignity, is a blessing I never expected." Traore admitted that during the most difficult days of his leadership, when foreign forces threatened his people, when local fear and international pressure were overwhelming, he would sometimes watch Bolt's races on his phone. "I watched the way you ran, head high, fearless, not just for Jamaica, but for every black child watching." It reminded me that our race here in Africa is not just political, it is spiritual. He then said something that moved millions. "Brother Usain, your letter is a medal I will wear in my heart. We may not run the same track, but we are on the same journey." Traore went on to say that African leaders must learn from figures like Bolt, those who didn't wait for...
All right, so that was the highlight of some of the message, that was sent by Usain Bolt to Burkina Faso's president, and that was his reply to the message. Now, you watching this video, if you cannot support, the ideology of the AES country and good governance in Africa, then believe me, you are an enemy to the African states. The truth is, the problem we are facing is because many of the leaders are not even supporting this man, and many of the Western countries are already against him because he has stopped many of them from mining gold in Burkina Faso, and they are doing it by themselves right now. And believe me, since he took over power, the country is experiencing tremendous development, and this is what the West don't actually want to see. So believe me, if you are part of any of these AES country, that is Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso, you are supposed to key to this idea. And even if you are not from that country, just make sure that you keep sharing this on social media so that this country, will be known. The truth is, we must have a greater African again, and all of us are in support of Traore. Share the video and don't forget to follow us for more updates. Normally, truth is bitter.